episode 122, and welcome into the Bench Just Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who did not have a losing record this year. And if you would have told me that at the beginning of September, I'd say that is a win.
And they also didn't have a winning record. And I'm Tyler Coe, representing the 111 win, tied for fourth most all time Los Angeles Dodgers, who are
fourth most all time.
Dare I say, limping into the playoffs? I don't know. I got a lot of flack for that on Twitter. So
the Dodgers are the real single season champions because it happened sooner, and we want to just be happy about that and make money. Let's before we get into all that kind of stuff, let's talk about your limping into the playoffs, Dodgers. If you think that the Dodgers are limping into the playoffs, you're fucking high. They won 111 games. Quit your fucking crying. They lose one fucking game. It's like I'm reading "Don't Kill Myself" books, and you're like, oh, they should have won 115, not 111. Like, number one, just shut the fuck up. They're gonna choke in the playoffs. They always do. But I mean, come on.
I don't know what you're saying, so I'm gonna take it as disrespect. They just hadn't played well. Dude, they hadn't played the Rockies well all year. Okay. So that's one thing. But two, listen, fuckface, injuries are a little bit of a concern right now. You got Tony Gonsolin, who he looked okay. He looked good through 3 innings. But if he's not able to start, you got 3 lefties. That's your rotation. Dustin May, he's not going to be ready. And then let's say you need to extend to 4 starters. Well, guess who that 4th starter is? That's Andrew Heaney. So then you're just stacked with lefties. But it looks like they're going to try to do a piggyback maybe with Gonsolin and Heaney. I mean, they did that the other night. Oh, no. No, they stacked Julio and Heaney. But anyways, Heaney's coming out of the pen. Got some experience with that the other night. Blake Trinan. Who the fuck knows? Who knows? He's thrown 5 innings all season. I don't know if I feel good about that. Dustin May, I don't think he's going to be back. Phil Bickford's on the IL, and I think you could argue that Phil probably shouldn't have made the postseason roster. But guess what? Him being on the IL pretty much guarantees. Craig Kimbrell is going to be on that roster, baby. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So Craig Kimbrell, it only took 150 games for Doc to realize maybe he's not the guy. And now we just have him in mop-up situations. Fuck you.
Oh, so you won 111 instead of 115. I'm really bummed out for you. It's a terrible season.
Okay, sorry. We just have high expectations, okay?
So if you don't win 112 next year, it's an issue?
Lost cause. It's a lost cause. The season was a failure. No, but there are some real concerns, dude. The run support hasn't been there, and the pitching hasn't looked great as of late. And I can't believe you're the one being like, they're not limping into the playoffs, when you are so. I mean, it's the truth, and we all know it. But you always harp on it. Baseball is about going into the playoffs hot. It's not about what you did, what your record is. It's about going into the playoffs hot. And guess what? Dodgers are going in lukewarm right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if they went in hot, they are going to have 4 days off. So that would kind of, I don't know. I think they're kind of phoning it in the rest of the season. That's my take on it. They're phoning it in. They're trying not to just get hurt, which could be an issue because, obviously you want to stay hot. You want to get hot and all that sort of thing. But even if you get hot and you got 4 days off, that's kind of an issue too. So there's no real set formula on how things been, because there's teams that, don't have any days off, wild card teams that are running through and, just get hot in the playoffs and make it through. And there's other teams that are just well prepared that win as well. So it's kind of, that's why I don't get the whole, obviously you want your team to feel like it's World Series or bust, but when a fan, from a fan perspective, saying if you don't win the World Series, it's a waste of a season. You can't do that with baseball. Like, even the best players get cold. Like, that's just the way it fucking is. Like, I just don't get that. So I don't know. I think that it's a little bit of an I don't know, a rich guy complaining that his caviar is, cold. I don't know. Is caviar supposed to be hot? I'm not a rich man, so
No, it's not.
but you get what I'm saying. You understand. You pick. Are you stepping when are you smelling when I'm stepping in? Do you hear me knocking?
No, no.
Then
Let me in. I mean, here's the thing: is I'm glad we were kind of sitting, guys. After we experienced the Max Muncy debacle last year when he gets hurt last game of the season, he's out for the playoffs. Kershaw gets hurt right before the playoffs, and that definitely affected us going down the stretch. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like you look at it and you're obviously happy to have the bye with how the playoffs are structured this year, because if the wild card series between the Mets and San Diego goes 3 games, there's 3, whoever you end up playing, their top 3 guys you're not gonna see them for games 1 and 2, which is awesome. But you kind of worry about, what it's gonna be like having all those days off, not having real game experience. But at this point, I think the rest is more important. But we'll see. I think saying they're limping into the playoffs is a fair description. Whatever you think is wrong,
I like that.
Fuck you.
Everything is wrong. And I'm very very sad for you that you're having such a rough time, all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about some let's talk about them San Francisco Giants, because we are pretty much going to be done talking about them the rest of the year.
Wake me up when it's over, dude.
Yeah. Okay, Green Day. Like I said, if you told me at the beginning of September, seeing how September was probably their hard, and where they were like 6 or 7 games under 500, something like that. If you told me they would end up 500 at that point, and in no way did I think that this was going to happen, but they even had a little fun run where the Phillies were losing every game and the Giants were winning every game, and it was like their elimination number was 2 for like 4 or 5 days. So and that was a little fun, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. I mean, we knew it was here. We knew the season was over for at least a month and a half. Probably about a month is when it was like for sure done. But in September they had, like I said, they had a really good September. Only lost a couple series. Did two to the Dodgers and I think 1 to the Padres at the end. I think that was it. They beat up on the teams they were supposed to beat up on, but they just didn't realize they were supposed to do that the entire year, not just in September. And they took a couple series from the Braves when they were still fighting for the Mets for the for the division. Beat the Phillies. They beat some good teams too. Like I said, they had a pretty rough schedule then. So there's a lot to look forward to next year, believe it or not, especially how it ended, because obviously the reason why this season is just the way that it was the fact of they were one of, if not the worst defensive team in baseball the entire year. And they had a really sharp bullpen for a while, but actually at the end, a lot of the guys that came up did pretty well. They have a pretty solid bullpen this last month. I mean, Scott Alexander came up and killed it. John Brebbia leads the league in most appearances, had a really good season. They can't go into next year with Cotton and Garcia and Zach Littell. Junior Marte didn't have that great of a year. If you look at his numbers, but he's a young dude. I feel like he can turn it around. He's got a lot of promise. Obviously, Camilo Duvall is the shit. Got a lot of bright lights on Jacob Junish, on Jelly. Ortiz ended up pretty good, and even the guys. And Cole Waits had his debut and was has been very good. Alex Young, and And Tyler Rogers actually is turned around his year. He started off really shitty, but turned it around and started doing good. But a lot of the guys that they picked up to try to fix the bullpen, just they picked them up and called them up way too late. Shelby Miller, believe it or not, is could be a big part of this bullpen in 2023. He's striking everybody out. In the bullpen
Shelby
right now,
Miller's in your bullpen?
Shelby Miller. Remember the fucking name. He's come up and just dropped dick. Honestly, like I feel like if these guys would have came up, in August and not September, then I don't know. I think they would be a lot more in the conversation. Maybe even fighting for that last wild card spot. And Andrew Vasquez made his Giants debut. Had pitched one game in San Diego, 2 innings with 4 strikeouts, and then Shelby Miller just striking fucking everybody out. 5 strikeouts in 3 innings his first outing, and he was striking everybody. What I'm trying to say is, I know it's a long-winded way of saying, I think the bullpen's actually going to be okay. I think that's one part checked off even before the end of the year for 2023. Obviously, this team has to get better defensively, and I think they started to at the end of the year. And they got to make a lot of big adjustments, and they need some big power bats, and they need some stars. So Kyle Harris can be right there. They need to replace Rodon, and we're going to talk about that this offseason. But just the defense killed the season, and it is what it is. We're not going to break down this last week. I think this is just us talking about this last, I know you're more excited for, hey, this is what's going to happen in the postseason. And I'm more, hey, this is what's going to happen for 2023. But that's kind of the story on the Giants 2022. Very disappointing, but the defense killed it. So they're going to need to continue to get better defensively. They already fixed the bullpen for the most part. And yeah, man. Just go get Aaron Judge, dude. Fuck it.
First of all, fuck the Diamondbacks, bro. They wouldn't have traded Shelby Miller all those years ago. We wouldn't have to worry about Dansby Swanson being on the Braves and a potential NLCS. Dude, but I don't know what's worse. Then we would have to see him, 19 times a year.
Right.
But he'd be on a shitty team, so I feel like it wouldn't really matter.
Right. And the thing is that I feel like Diamondbacks fans just that's who he made his 2022 debut, I guess you would say, was against the Diamondbacks and struck out 5 in 3 innings and was just super dominant. I can't imagine you get Shelby Miller after he was so good with the Braves, you trade Dansby Swanson for him and he's so shitty you release him, and then now he comes back and he's striking everybody out of the bullpen. That's gotta hurt. Shelby Miller's got to be the bane of existence of anyone in Arizona.
Dude, life just works in mysterious ways, dude. That's all it is. Yeah, go out and get Aaron Judge, bro. The legitimate home run king. Legitimate. But before we talk about that,
you're just gonna pull that off of your Roger Maris Jr. right now.
Yeah. Before we talk about that, let's talk about the man, the myth, the machine, Albert Pujols. We've been off for a couple weeks. There's been some COVID running around us in our personal lives, and some things. But we're back. Your boy was there. He wasn't even close to catching it. He was a couple seats over, a couple sections over, I should say.
He said, "Fuck you, white boy. I'm gonna hit it over here."
Yeah, but Albert did it. It was super awesome to be there. Just felt, really lucky to witness history in person. It was really cool. The number 3 legitimate home run hitter of all time, if we're talking numbers. You got Hank, you got Babe, you got T.O. Albert.
Right.
Am I right or am I right?
You're missing number 1, but yeah, that's the exact order of that. Yep.
Yeah, no, 1 is Hank Aaron.
1 is Barry Bonds.
2 okay.
See, this is career home run king Barry Bonds, and this is single season home run Barry Bonds right here. So
okay,
they're both gonna hang out right here.
Really
the
cute
rest of the podcast.
Yeah, super cool. Good for Albert. And then the Aaron Judge thing, that was fun. It was fun watching the race, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I just have no affinity for the Yankees. Dude, I don't care. Like it's cool. It's cool that he can say he's the AL home run king, and having more home runs than Ruth and fucking Roger Maris because they are Yankees. I think that definitely adds to the lore. But as someone who's not a Yankees fan, I didn't really care. I mean, I think it's great that he's doing it in an era without steroids. And I don't know how many times we're going to see that again.
And the fact that I know a lot of people bring this up, but the fact that number 2 is like 20 home runs below him. So it's not like it's where the ball is juiced and the ball is just flying out of here. He is playing in a really small park, but at the same time, a lot of people are playing in small parks. So
yeah,
well,
Jesus, dude, if he was a lefty, you would have hit 70 at least this year. But he's not. But yeah, I mean, I know you're probably more upset about it than I am. Roger Maris Jr. is maybe the most annoying man in the Twitter sphere or in the baseball sphere in the last couple weeks. Dude, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
I'm really excited the only good thing about the season ending for the Giants and just the regular season ending is the fact this guy can go back into his fucking hole. There is a couple things I did want to say about, because first of all, I'm a huge Judge fan. I hope he signs with the Giants. I doubt he will. After the Yankees break the record, I feel like there's no way that if he played for like, I don't know, the Cardinals or the Brewers, like, yeah, the Giants can outbid them. But how the fuck are the Giants going to outbid the New York Yankees? Unless he's
going to be a blank check situation.
Right. Unless he really just wants to come to the Bay Area. Like because he broke the record, I feel like the Yankees' hand is now forced to where they got to do it. So we're going to get into offseason stuff and the different options on what the Giants should do to get a star at this moment. But I feel like Judge is pretty much off the table because the Yankees are going to give him a blank check. But a lot of people have been saying this is the best offensive season we've ever seen. And honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but we're talking Bonds, so we're just going to keep Bonds going. We could talk about the obvious 73 home run to 60 home run. You could talk about how there were steroids. I can also talk about how it's way harder to hit home runs in Oracle Park than it is in Yankee Stadium. We can go there, but we can look the most impressive thing. Well, obviously the home runs are the most impressive thing, but if we're looking for something else that's non-steroid related, you look, Judge struck out 167 times, walked 105 times. Barry Bonds struck out 93 times and walked 177 times. So not only did he hit 73 home runs, he was also not getting shit to hit. And the most important thing is he even got 35 intentional walks with Judge. Judge has 18. So dude wasn't getting pitched to, and still Mash had way better numbers than Judge in that ballpark. Yes, steroids. I get it. And I understand what you're saying, but that has nothing to do with the strikeouts and the fact that he wasn't getting pitched to hit. There's a lot of different things from different eras, and you could still argue the ball is a little more juiced than it was in 2001. So we can go there. We cannot go there. The reason that Roger Maris Jr. is a bitch, I just don't nobody fucking cares, dude. Nobody cares. No one wants to hear from you. And your whole argument is the fact that, there's steroid. I mean, you look at his numbers. Oh my gosh, he only had 1 year where he hit. Let's see, Bonds. We're looking at his home runs. The year most hit 73 would be 46, if I'm looking correctly. Yeah, he had 46 2 times. But he has that when that was before steroid Bonds. We're looking the first years with the Giants, he had 46. So there's plenty of 40s before steroids. You look at Roger Maris's numbers. He had 61 1 year, and he didn't hit over 40 the rest of his career. He had 1 year at 39, 1 year at 33, but the rest are in the teens and in the 20s. So Bonds was on steroids. No one's denying that fact. But we're also not denying, we're not bringing up the fact that Roger Maris is probably on amphetamines, whatever. I don't know how to speak drugs.
Amphetamines.
But that's, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that's not.
It doesn't what? It doesn't keep you on the field? You ever seen a fucking crackhead, dude?
Okay, first of all, those are two completely Amphetamines aren't going to help you
aren't
muscle the
performing-
fucking ball over the fence.
Have you
Are
ever
you
seen-
kidding me?
Can you let me ask you a question?
Listen, straight edge,
Let me
you
ask you a
wouldn't
question.
know.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Can you carry a refrigerator? Can you ride a bike and carry a refrigerator at the same time?
No.
Okay, I've seen about 4 crackheads do it on video.
okay,
That's just a fact.
That's probably PCP, dum-dum. That's not
Amphetamines
fucking
are
amphetamines.
amphetamines. Okay.
That's not an amphetamine.
Okay, it's a performing enhancing drug.
Oh my. Uh-huh.
If you don't think that's a performing enhancing drug, you're fucking high. That's a performing enhancing drug.
This is a pretty big reach right here. Just saying.
It's not a big reach.
It's a reach.
And not only that, dude, he played when before. Actually, I don't know. I have to look definitely at his numbers. Let me just double check before I say something.
He played after the color barrier was
50s.
broken. If that's what you're getting
dang
at.
it. Okay, so there was a 3.5 black dudes allowed to play in baseball. Not even fully integrated. Okay, just a couple in. So you know what? Fuck you.
Listen, I'm not defending Roger Maris Jr. I'm just saying your argument is shit. And
My argument is not shit.
dude, the thing about Roger Maris,
was on amphetamines. Roger Maris was on
Oh
some
my
shit.
God.
If you're arguing
really, where's your
look
proof?
how many-
Where's your proof?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I never questioned Roger Maris's.
So now are we saying Barry Bonds
number-
didn't take steroids?
No,
I don't know where
obviously he
this
did,
argument's
but
going. Okay.
What
But
I'm
you're just
saying is
making
I'm
baseless
not
claims
questioning-
about him being on amphetamines.
Well, technically, first of all, Bonds never tested negative. Let's just say that there. So and
Right,
they
never
weren't testing for
never tested
amphetamines.
negative.
Yeah, he never tested negative.
So he tested positive.
No, sorry, he never tested positive.
Freudian slip right there. Oh, he was on steroids. I mean, wait, no, he wasn't.
Listen, he obviously was. I get it, but who's to say that Roger Maris wasn't on shit too? What I'm saying is, I'm not trying to knock Roger Maris and his time on amphetamines and all that kind of stuff. So leave Bonds alone. Everyone was on fucking steroids. Suck a dick, Roger Maris Jr.
Dude, what's next?
Brutal
Who's to say
home run
Babe
king.
Ruth
You can suck a
wasn't
dick.
drinking beer in the dugout? And
You're
beer
gonna, you're gonna tell
Are
me
you
that,
saying
that
when you're
amphetamines-
drunk you can't hit a home run?
You're gonna tell me that
Fuck outta
amphetamines
here, dude.
do not keep you on the field and do not help your performance?
In what aspect?
Thank you. What do you mean? In what aspect?
That you need less sleep?
I don't know. It keeps you on the field. Lets you keep playing.
Dog, you're
Why do you think they did it? Why do you think do you think they just did it for fun? Do you think like, this looks really
Yeah.
cool? Let's put it in the coffee pot.
It's
Just because it
certainly
gets you-
not okay. It's not. That's a false equivalency to be like
I'm not
steroids.
saying it's the same thing. I'm not saying
Okay.
it's the same thing. But what I'm saying is if he's on amphetamines, that's a performing enhancing drug. That means if Bonds isn't clean, it doesn't count. So neither does Maris.
False equivalency. It doesn't work.
I'm not
Doesn't
saying
track
it's
in my
the
book.
Same.
All I'm gonna say is, dude, if Roger
Nothing
Maris
tracks in
was
your book. You think
listen,
the Dodgers aren't even good with 111 wins? What the fuck
did
are
I
you
ever say
talking
that?
about?
Did I ever? Okay,
Yeah.
listen,
you said
fucko.
they said they're terrible. You said they shouldn't even make the playoffs. They suck.
You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Fuck them.
I'm a Mariners
you.
fan. What did I say, dude? I'm a Mariners fan. Roger Maris, if he were alive, he'd be stoked right now because he hated that home run race. Dude was fucking losing his hair, wasn't sleeping, and you could see, dude, Judge was pressing too. I was getting real nervous that he wasn't going to do it, and I think a tie just would have been shitty because who knows when anyone's ever going to get close. Like Jose Bautista got close a couple years ago. I think he hit like 58 one year in Toronto. But
Giancarlo got a little close too. One of his last years in Miami.
but
He got almost 60, I think.
I mean, so many things just have to go right. So I'm glad he did it.
Right.
Big ups to him. But what boggles my mind, they're estimating that the Albert Pujols ball, right, is going to be worth about $2 million. But they're saying
Love that
some
money.
guy already offered the guy who caught the Judge ball $2 million. And then he's going to auction it off and expect to make more money. How are those? Maybe because I'm not a Yankee fan, who the fuck cares?
Right. Because the thing is, there is a lot of people who don't view the steroid guys' records as legitimate. So if there's a collector, it might. I mean, if someone if Bonds didn't do what he did, if McGuire didn't do what he did, if Sosa didn't do what he did twice, um, I I think that it probably would even be more. But the fact is there's a lot of people that are willing and collectors that think that way, that are willing to pay for it and want to recognize it as the legit home run record. So, shit, if you want to pay, I don't know.
I was reading, I forget the dollar amount, but I did the calculation today. The McGuire ball, his 70th home run in 98, went for X amount of money, which if you account for inflation would be like $5.5 million right now.
Shit.
So you got to think that's kind of where the starting point is. Because the Yankees are a storied franchise and have so many fans that some crazy New York fan who has a shit ton of money would pay $5 million to have that ball. I mean, I don't get
collectors, it. Yeah, there's collectors that pay a stupid amount of money for a lot of shit. So,
dude, so at that game, some guy walks up the stairs as I'm going down, and he had a physical ticket stub, and I was like, I'll buy that off you for $50. And I don't think he really spoke English. And I think he thought I was trying to like buy his seat, and he was like, no. Bro, those ticket stubs, because you can only get physical tickets now if you win like a raffle or if you have like a handicap seat. They're selling on eBay for like $2,500.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Dude, baseball memorabilia is sick with it. It's
well, I guess.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit.
I'm looking at my shit like, damn, what can I
I'm poor.
I got a baseball with Will Clark and Matt Cain's signature on the same ball. I don't know.
That's dumb.
$3,000. I'll take it.
I think I could get that for $75, but okay.
Yeah, no, it'd be more than that. But yeah. So yeah, I mean this year was the year of Pujols and Judge and
the Dodgers and the Dodgers
and Judge, and to cap off this this talking about Judge, we had a fight maybe 2 or 3 podcasts ago. Judge versus Ohtani, who's the MVP, and I was very passionate that Shohei Ohtani is the MVP. He should get the MVP. He is the most valued player, and I will die on that hill. I think it is very true, and I believe he deserves that MVP. However, if Judge wins the MVP, I'm okay with I'm not upset about it. I'm okay with it because at the end of the day, this was the year of Judge. Shohei is going to be dominant for multiple years. Like I was telling you before we started, I was 100% okay with R.A. Dickey winning the Cy Young first because that was the year of R.A. Dickey. He was a year or two, the old dude. It kind of had the knuckleball was making a comeback, and Kershaw was probably going to win the next 3 Cy Youngs, and I think he won like probably the next year or the year after. So, at the end of the day, people remember MVPs, and if you want to look back on what actually told the story of the season, Judge was the biggest thing going on. So, Ohtani's been, did it last year, and honestly, unless something crazy like Judge's home run race happens again next year, then I think Ohtani should win it again next year. So he's going to have more chances.
So here's the thing. 2-3 weeks ago, I was ready to die on that Judge hill. And we had a little bit of a Freaky Friday kind of swap here. A little switcheroonie,
I just feel like
if you will.
You could just never agree with me. You're like, what? Like,
well, no,
you think
I was coming on this podcast tonight fully prepared to be like, you know what, Jesse, I really thought about it, and I think you're right.
Right.
And you realize that I'm a genius, and you thought I was right.
Well, no, I think that I'm right.
I'm a genius.
I think that Ohtani is.
But I'm a genius.
My argument, I still believe that argument. If Ohtani is an all-star on both sides of the ball, he's the most valuable player. Any team would pick Ohtani over Judge any day of the week. But the thing is we're telling the story of 2022 we got to talk about Judge. I think that needs to be on the forefront. So I get it. When he gets voted MVP, I understand why. I'm not going to be upset. I was
But
going to
are
be
we?
upset if Otani didn't win.
Are I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Are we just going to give it to a guy because he broke a record? Because objectively, if you look at it, Otani's the best player in baseball, not even just the American League, in baseball.
Yeah, he's the most valued player.
Should we just not give it to him because he's probably going to win it every year for the next 5 years?
No, I think he probably will win it the next 5 years. But what I'm saying, I mean, Judge didn't just break the record. I mean, his offensive numbers are way better than Shohei Otani's. So it's not like it's a thing of it's just one dimensional. He was the season that he had at the plate was historic, and it was one of the best seasons probably ever.
Sure. Didn't even win a batting title though. Just throwing it out there.
No, but what he hit, what is it? 314?
I think it ended up being like 311.
Oh yeah, I pulled these numbers like a week ago. Sorry. So maybe whatever. Anyways, over 300 in this era, while hitting for power. Like I said, 1.1 OPS. Like I don't know. I and not only that, he was great defensively, and he was playing center field. So I think all of that makes it to where I get it. Like it. The spotlight was on him. He broke the record. All his other stuff is really good. Everything was about Judge this year. So I'm okay with him winning, even though he doesn't deserve it. Otani deserves it.
Wait, so Otani deserves it now? Yeah, now I'm confused.
No, Otani deserves it, but I'm okay with Judge winning it.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
This is the year of Judge. So
right. Let's get into some real baseball, some upcoming stuff that everyone's excited about. Everyone who's still in the playoff sphere is excited about. The Dodgers got a first round bye, so we don't know exactly who they're playing, but it's going to be one of two teams. It's going to be the Slam Diego Losers.
Ooh, good one.
Or the New York Losers.
Oh,
the New York Loser Mets.
I didn't see that one coming.
I mean, I'm kind of glad that these two teams matched up against each other, because these are two teams I really don't want to see. As far as, you know, they have three top guys that could really hit you hard in the beginning of a series, but no matter who wins, we're not going to have to see those top two guys or top three guys maybe more than once. So that's great. But now they're coming out and saying Jacob deGrom might not pitch in the wild card round, and it depends on what happens game one. And it's like, what the fuck? It's a 3-game series, guys. Anything can happen. You have to throw them.
Yeah, I don't.
And then you kind of hope that the Mets win, and then you don't have to see Scherzer and deGrom until games 3 and 4 at the earliest, but more likely 4 and 5, which would be sick. He's so awesome. But, dude, I think the Padres legitimately have a chance. I mean, you got the two biggest choke artist teams, so one of them's going to have to win. And, you know, I'm sure San Diego fans are already, like, you know, partied out because I'm sure they celebrated in the streets just getting into the playoffs. But I think the Padres have a legitimate chance, but the Dodgers mollywop the Padres all season long. So they definitely match up better against the Padres.
I don't know. The way my brain works and the way baseball is, I just feel like because they mollywopped on them so hard during the season, if the Dodgers face the Padres, that the Padres are going to beat them somehow. I mean, that's just, I think, you know, the whole, like, you can only have so many wins against the team, like baseball type mind and superstition, that sort of thing. But I mean, I don't fucking know. The Dodgers will probably win. Probably get to the only team that I feel like can genuinely knock them off is the Mets could, and I believe the Braves could. I don't know. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I feel like
the Braves are the team that worry me the most.
Right. Sure. I feel like most teams in the National League are just sneaky good, because you look at that Phillies lineup, and you know, if Nola and Wheeler are on, I don't know. You look at the Cardinals and fucking Arenado and Goldschmidt, and you got Pujols' last run. He's gonna give everything he's got. Like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I think the NL is just fucking stacked.
Yeah.
And
I just see, I really think we're going to get, I don't want to go too far into predictions here.
Oh no, we're gonna get. I'm gonna run a little bracket. We'll end with a bracket guess right now. Well, not right now, but at the end of the episode, we'll bracket guess really quick, rapid fire, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see who wins the World Series. And that's
all
how
right.
we'll end it.
All I'm just gonna say is the Braves are the team that worry me the most. Whether or not they were gonna win the East and they were a wild card team or had the first round bye, they're the team that worries me the most. The rotation, the lineup. I mean, they really have it all. And dude, you're gonna have to face, if you're playing the Braves, Kenley Jansen, who's been pretty good as of late, and we have fucking Elsa from Frozen, who sucks shit. So
don't disrespect Elsa like that.
All I know is it would be a great series, 3 years in a row. It would be awesome. Fucking Milwaukee makes my preseason prediction look like shit. They don't even make the playoffs. They were supposed to play the Dodgers in the NLCS.
Right.
They blew it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, they really fucking whiffed. Everyone thought the Mets were gonna just fold because it doesn't matter who the fuck they got, and everyone thought the Phillies are still gonna disappoint because they always do. But before we get into our guesses and the quick rapid fire, don't even think about it right now, Tyler. Don't even think, it's got to be off the top of your head. Okay. There's one thing I do want to address really quick. This last Dodger series at Oracle, this is why something major has to change going into 2023. It was just so fucking embarrassing. I don't know if you saw when they honored Hunter Pence, the fact there was maybe, I don't know, 20 Giants fans there. And it was just like he went out and it was just, there was no one fucking there. And to have one of your dudes honored and no one show up, and the amount of Dodger fans that were there, I don't know. That was just fucking embarrassing. But even most of all, I'm not sure if you saw this, but there was Dodgers stuff for sale at Oracle during that series. And I don't think I've ever seen that ever in my life.
No.
That has got to be the craziest little bit of a money grab, the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Something's really got to change, and that shit just, you're wondering why that stadium is empty. Well, I think it's on the fans to not go when Hunter Pence is honored. That's fucked up. But speaking for some, I just went to Oracle, a couple weeks ago. And a lot of shit has just gone downhill. The food has gone downhill. I mean, just a lot of people don't know who's on the fucking field. The payroll is super down. There's a transaction every day before a fucking game. Like, something's got to change for 2023. There's a lot. I don't think they're as far behind as people make it seem. I talked about that earlier with the bullpen and all that kind of stuff. But major changes need to happen. And
it would change all of that like this.
What? Aaron Judge?
Sign Aaron Judge.
Yeah. I just don't think, and we're going to talk about that offseason wise, I just don't think that's an option. If that was a legit option, they should go balls out, and it is what it is. I don't care if you got to overpay the guy and, he's 38, lugging it up there, eat some of his money and send him off when he becomes that age. It is what it is. But you're at a point where if you actually want to compete in this division, your farm system is not, this year didn't do that well. There's a lot of, there's a couple bright lights, and, but they're at least a year or two away. Maybe Kyle Harrison and Casey Schmidt might be next year, but your main dudes are at least a couple years away. You need to make a serious investment and get things going. But that's ridiculous. It's bullshit. I'm done with that. So
fair weather fans, bro. Just some fair weather fans.
I can't even like, I used to be able to dude, fuck off. The Giants were bad for a long time between, what was it, 2003, 2004 to 2010, and it always sold out. It sold out all the way up until even when they were terrible in 2017 and 18. So it just was really bad this year. And or the people who make the decisions at Oracle, how expensive it is, how ridiculous the parking is, and how hard it is to park there. It's just a joke, and things need to change and make tickets cheaper or something, or make sure the food's fucking like. If you're not putting a great product on the field, like help people get into the find a reason to go. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just a whole nother thing that we're not going to get into. But fuck that. We're talking about 2022 Giants. Let's talk about some postseason, Tyler.
Let's do it. And the best part is playoffs start today. It's great. I love it.
Right.
I mean, it sucks that I have to wait, a few more days to watch the Dodgers, but I love that. Get a day off, and then the postseason just starts, and it's great. So let's kick it off. All right, first series today. Yeah.
No, I'm asking you. You got to be rapid fire. I'm gonna go all type of crazy stuff, so you can't even think about it. Ready?
Okay.
Tampa Bay and Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Ooh, let's go Phillies and St. Louis.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Mariners and Blue Jays.
Mariners, baby.
Mariners. Okay, you got Cleveland and the New York Yankees.
Oh, that's the next one?
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yankees. Mariners and the Houston Astros.
Astros.
So it's Astros versus the Yankees in the ALCS. Padres versus Mets. Don't think.
Give me the Mets. Give me the Mets. Give me the Mets.
Mets. The Cardinals versus the Braves.
Wait, what? It's Cardinals versus the Phillies.
I know. You already said Cardinals.
Oh, okay. You went a little bit out of order. Okay.
I did.
Jesus.
I did it because I'm trying to keep you off your feet. And I want to get you just off top of the head.
Okay. So who go again?
Cardinals and Braves.
Braves
and Dodgers. We're going to pencil in Braves. The Yankees and Astros. Who's going to the World Series?
Astros.
So Astros and the Braves.
What, the Braves? What the fuck are you talking? First of all, you didn't even ask me.
I answered for you.
You didn't even ask me about the DS. Dodgers beat the Mets. Okay, there it is. CS Dodgers beat the Braves. And we get it.
I just answered for you. So it's a
rematch.
The Dodgers and the Astros are repeating. Who are you taking?
Dodgers, baby.
You thought about it. That's why. You weren't supposed to think about it.
I'm going to say Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6.
So my original prediction was the Dodgers were going to beat the Blue Jays in 5. And I remember specifically being like, they got Kikuchi, they got Barrios, and those are two of the worst starters in the American League. Maybe the 2 worst starters. So I don't think the Blue Jays have it. But, dude, the Astros, like, objectively, they're the best team in the American League, record-wise, and just eye test, they're the best. Dude, Justin Verlander is doing great. He's fucking awesome. I hate him and his brother, mostly his brother, but he looks great. And it's not going to be quite as satisfying, but you still have Altuve, Bregman's still on the team. So you'll still have, those 2 cheaters. So I think, and it'll be great.
Right.
And you'll have Dusty, even though Dusty obviously wasn't the manager. He was the manager who told Joe Kelly to get back on the mound, little fucker. So
get back up there, fucker.
Little fucker. Yeah, dude. I mean, I really hope that's what it is. It would be nice to see. Obviously, I'd like to see the Mariners make it. The Yankees would be awesome. But dude, the Astros are just so good. The Dodgers are so great, but I think the opponents in the NL that they have to get through are much better, whereas the AL is not as strong. I think the Yankees are going to crumble.
I do agree, in a way.
But I think Cleveland's going to be like a dark horse.
I see what you mean, and I get it. They were in an easier division, but I don't know.
I mean, they're not going to go anywhere.
I feel like the Rays figure out a way. So
Yeah.
I don't see how.
Dude, I mean, I hope so. I like Tyler Glasnow a lot. He seems like an awesome dude. I love his style of pitching. I wouldn't mind seeing him, make it all the way and then get crushed by the Dodgers or whatever. But really, I think what everyone's hoping for is either a Dodger-Yankee series or a Dodger-Astro series. I think the Dodger-Astro series would be fantastic. Not only because of the history, but they are just the two best teams in baseball.
Right.
I mean, it would be great.
It would not be great.
So what? So okay, let's run it. Let's run it back.
Let's run it back.
Let's hear. All right, you ready?
Yep. Born ready, bitch.
Mets, Padres,
Mets,
Mariners, Blue Jays,
Mariners,
Cardinals, Phillies. Don't think about it.
I didn't.
You're not. You're not answering. Did you just say Philly?
I did. I said Cardinals right away.
No,
Cardinals.
you didn't. Cleveland, Tampa.
I said Tampa.
Okay. Tampa, Yankees.
Definitely Tampa.
Seattle, Houston.
I'm going underdogs all the fucking way. Seattle Mariners.
I like it. Seattle, Tampa.
Seattle fucking Mariners.
There's no fucking way, but that would be neat.
There's a way.
All right. Mets, Dodgers.
I think the Dodgers go.
Yeah. Braves, Cardinals.
I have a weird feeling that the Cardinals are going Cardinals. Upset.
Right. Dodgers, Cardinals, which we know is a shit series for the Dodgers.
Upset City. The St. Louis
God.
Cardinals are going to the fucking World Series, baby.
Because the MLB is going to love Seattle and fucking St. Louis as opposed to Dodgers and Houston.
I would love that.
All right, dipshit. Seattle, St. Louis.
They do it for Pujols, and the Cardinals take it.
How many games?
5.
All right. That was wrong, but you heard it here first.
It's upset city. I'm feeling it. You're just going with what you think happened. The better teams. You're going safe.
Synapses are just firing. My brain's just,
Mariners, Cardinals, book it. If you're in St. Louis, buy your World Series tickets now. Right now. I
sincerely doubt it. All right, last question for you, and then you can spit it back at me. Who wins World Series MVP? Go.
I feel like Arenado is going to be deserving, but Pujols is going to have one moment, and they're going to want to give it to Pujols because he's retiring. So it's going to be Albert Pujols.
All right.
And who is winning from yours?
Who is what?
Who is winning your World Series MVP?
I'm going to go with my boy, Julio Urias. Julio Urias pitches 2 fucking lights out games, maybe 2 shutties, and he brings home another championship for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's our year, baby. Let's do it.
Every year's your fucking year.
Well, I'm just happy to be back in the postseason. It was a foregone conclusion before the season even started that we'd be in the postseason and that the Giants would miss and have like this, be exactly 500 instead of 40 games above, once they stop cheating.
An extra playoff team. I thought for sure they were going to get the wild card. No problem.
Yeah, we all knew they wouldn't. But I'm just excited, dude. There's nothing better than postseason baseball. Like just the feeling of every pitch really mattering, and you're just nervous and you feel sick and you don't want to eat. It's great. It feels wonderful. You're miserable. You're depressed. You have anxiety, but it's great. It's so great. And I'm getting surgery. I'm getting surgery next week, so I'm going to be all hopped up on painkillers. So you can't even hurt my feelings. So if the Dodgers lose, I still feel good.
You get more morphine for that.
Exactly. As always, this episode is brought to you by Renovation Candle Company, where fall candles are out now. Holiday candles are just around the corner. Go get some. And we're going to do the same thing we did in 2020 if the Dodgers win. There's going to be limited edition World Series champion candles. But, knock on wood, we're not there yet. But I'm just throwing it out there just for you to save some shekels to the side.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
If the Giants win the World Series, we're going to be doing giveaways for $1 million checks. Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well as YouTube. Follow us on your socials: Twitter, Benches Cleared P, Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast, and TikTok, Benches Cleared. We will see you just before the Dodgers playoff series at the beginning of the week. We're gonna work this out.
Yeah, and by the way, those checks are post-dated for the year 3000, but we will be giving away $1 million checks.
If the Giants win the World Series.
Which will never happen.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you guys at the beginning of next week, baby. Roger Maris Jr. is a bitch and Barry Bonds is the fucking GOAT.
Playoff baseball, baby. Doubt it.